Good morning, y'all. I've been up for a little bit. I just ordered some stuff for Sheen. My birthday's coming up, and I'm going to Vegas. But we gotta talk about the Country Wayne skits. Rolanda and Anthony. Anthony, you in the wrong, and the fact that you up here lying the road, making it, and everybody else who you actually trust saying you don't want to go back to Amber, and yet you're in a counseling session saying you want to try to work out your marriage. At the end of the day, I think all it is you trying to get ammunition to use against Amber in that council session. Amber, you stupid for going, because that's all he's trying to do. He is trying to get evidence that you were messing around with Wayne after y'all got married. That is what he's trying to prove. And the reason he's trying to prove that, because then it proves infidelity on your end. Amber's the one that filed. He has not signed. And I don't know why Shayla and her mama ain't put this together. Amber is the one that filed. When he got them papers, Shayla should have said then, go ahead and sign them and send them back. Why haven't you signed them? So, like I said, it's not a lot of common sense, critical thinking, and common judgment in these skits, because anybody in their right mind that sees a divorce papers being sent and delivered and the signature is there, why didn't he sign? Why didn't he sign the papers? So yeah, I'm glad Rolanda called him out, but Rolanda, you need to hold him accountable when it comes to that apartment. You don't need to hold on to that, because you need to go ahead and tell him either he gonna do it by today, give him 24 hours to make a decision. With Anthony, you got to make him make a decision, meaning you got to force his hand. You got to give him a time limit, because if you don't, and you don't stand on that, he's not gonna make a decision. And the fact that he walked out because she couldn't answer whether she loved Wayne or not. Like I said, all of this is going to be used against her in court. He is setting her up, and she's stupid, because I wouldn't have went. She talking about she want to go because she wants to go through the divorce. Sweetheart, just go ahead and go through the divorce. You've already filed. All you got to do is go to court and say that he's not going to sign the papers. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to go to counsel and do all this and that. And the fact that it came out, I'm kind of glad your cousin did put it out there, because somebody needed to. At the end of the day, like I said, I understand why the cousin did what she did. She felt like Amber didn't invite her to a wedding, considering she's been there for. I get it. But at the same time, it would have came out anyway. I don't know why y'all think stuff like that don't come out. No matter what you try to hide, it's going to come out unless you do your dirt by yourself. That's the only way it won't, is if you do it by yourself and nobody else is involved in it. Then it won't never come out unless you speak on it. But at the end of the day, Anthony wants to be with Shayla. That is where he wants to be. I keep telling people that. He wants to be with her. It's just the fact he's scared of losing his assets, which is why he's lying to Amber. At the end of the day. The only reason he's lying to Shayla is because he's scared that Shayla gonna go over there and say something to Amber and mess things up for him as far as his assets, which I understand. But dude, you don't want Amber at all. You just want to protect your assets. And like Rolanda told you, you should have did a prenup and you didn't do one. That's on you. And then you screwed up. That's on you. Now, as for James and Ernestine, I knew Ernestine was going to go back to James. And so now she's not going to see Trey at all. Because James got it where he's on the other side somewhere. So I don't know how that's going to play out. But I hope that Ernestine don't end up pregnant. She don't know who the baby daddy is. That is going to be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised she end up pregnant and don't know who the baby daddy is. As for Sonny, the way you be coming at people, instead of asking people, why are you making assumptions? And the fact that, Mike, you're accusing Kendrick of telling when you know Kendrick ain't that type of person. You should have known the front desk or somebody said something about it. But in the end, like I said, the daddy, come to find out, he did that particular clause was not in there. So now he's going to confront Kendrick, which is going to make things worse. So like I said, I do believe Kendrick and Sonny going to end up together. Because I don't think Mike and Kendrick going to be friends for too much longer. Because if Kendrick got to choose between his career and Mike, he going to choose his career. And I think that's what's going to bring him and Sonny closer. Because I think something about that guy ain't right. I think that Sonny and Kendrick need to get together instead of her and that guy. Something about him just ain't right. I think that if she sleep with him, I think he gonna move on to the next chick. And I think Kendrick gonna be there for her. As for the situation with Jay and Nadia, Nadia, stay out of that. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Stay out of that. Cause honey, you don't want to get involved in that. But I do understand what she's saying. And Jay, you need to keep records of all this stuff, and you need to get clean. Get yourself clean. Because all your alcohol stuff is going to come up in court as well. Both of y'all may end up losing that little girl. And I'm with your mama. You need to get yourself together. Because if you're trying to get custody of her, you need to get yourself completely together. And I do think Nadia will be good for his little girl. He just need to get himself together and stop drinking altogether. This should make him want to stop drinking. But it ain't. It's going to come down to an intervention. That's what's going to stop him from drinking. But I think it's going to take something happening to that little girl for them to stop their behavior. But then it's going to be too late. CPS going to get involved, and they're going to take their little girl, and his mama going to be raising him. Because her mama can't raise the little girl because she got cancer. So she going to be going to his mama. So, like I said, the fact that he told his mom about what happened, I'm not surprised by that. As for Mariana being back and telling Phil the truth, it's about God's second time they told the truth. Now she got to tell old girl, and that right there is not going to be good. Because Mariana might be going to jail. But I don't think Phil going to say nothing. Phil ain't going to say nothing to Latasi. He ain't going to say nothing. But I wonder where the little baby is. Where's the baby? Is the baby still alive? Is the baby dead? What the world is going on with that? As for, I'm trying to think. Terry with Libby and the fact that he's worried about his publicist and what she gonna say. Libby, please leave him alone and stay with Kels and leave that man alone. That man is stringing you along. All it is, you're a seat filler. You're just holding space. And like I said, he's not in love with Dom. Like I said, Dom just helps him get opportunities. This is what it is. Dom looks good on his arm. Dom is going to be somebody that's going to help him get all kinds of other stuff. Like I said, if it wasn't for Dom, Terry would not be where he at right now. So we all know that. But at the same time, there are men that always wants another woman to be their mistress or their concubine or something of that nature. And women need to stop doing that. Stop being these men's mistresses and being the other woman. And then when you get mad because he's not going to divorce his wife, you find out that he's lying about what he's told you about his wife. Now you want to go to her and say, oh, by the way, I'm sleeping with your man. But you weren't doing that in the beginning when you were trying to get to know him, finding out whether him and his baby mama still together, whether his wife or whether he's still with old girl. No, you didn't do that in the beginning, but yet you want to now go tell this woman, I'm sleeping with your husband. But you didn't tell her in the beginning when you first met him that he even approached you. Like I said, a woman will appreciate you more if you go to her and say, you know what, I met this guy and I seen some pictures on Facebook of the two of y'all together, and I'm not trying to mess with this man until I know for sure whether the two of y'all still together or not. A woman will respect you more for that than you sitting up here and going after somebody man and then find out this man telling you, oh, I'm getting divorced, and he has no intentions of getting divorced. Okay. So no. If I were you, I would just be like, nah, I'm not even going to waste my time like that. So, yep. So today is washing clothes, and I'm going to clean my bathrooms. I already vacuumed my floor and stuff, so do a little bit of dusting. And then today going to be a writing day, and I'm just going to be writing today. And I got 3 podcasts I got to do today. And I got to get ready for this interview I got to do for my health and wellness channel, so I'm really excited about that. So that'll be coming, and you guys will get to hear it. So I'm really, really, really excited about this interview. So, and I got somebody else I gotta talk to about interview next week, and then I gotta reach out to a few people, and I got a book I gotta read too. So I'm gonna be doing that while I'm sitting up there reading this book that this guy sent me. That was an ex-NBA player. So, yep, I have a lot going on. So yeah, I'll be doing some interviews for my health and wellness channel. So my African Melanin Queen. So I'm excited. Bye, y'all. Have a good day.